Maggie, and I am excited about my masterclass starting next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, March 28th, 29th, and 30th at 3 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to be talking about healthy eating on a budget. You know, everybody's talking about the gas prices, and it's so noticeable. You can't help it. You're seeing it jump, and, not just a nickel or a dime here, it's often a quarter, 50 cents even. But food prices are jumping as well. But it's a lot easier for it to be very subtle. And so I just want to talk about a couple things really quick, and I'll try to come back each day and talk about different things. But first of all, we need to be very mindful. One of the things that I've noticed is that maybe the price seems the same, but the packaging is getting smaller. We've got to be a lot wiser. I know we were going on a trip and I was buying something that normally I got 36 in a box. And I went, and all of a sudden, I didn't notice it until I got in the car, but instead of 36, there were 32 in the box. Same packaging, same colors, everything looked the same. Same with meat. A lot of times we're used to seeing maybe it's a pound or a pound and a half. Now, all of a sudden, we're seeing these really funny combinations. So that when you pick that package of, for example, organic boneless chicken breasts, you're thinking, oh, this isn't so bad. Maybe it's 6 something a pound, but it's like maybe 11 ounces instead of 16. So first of all, really be mindful of the things that you're buying, paying attention. One of the things that I like to do is I use an app on my phone called AnyList, ANYLIST. It's a free app, and I put the stores that I regularly go to. So Walmart's in there. I have a Sam's Club card. I have Costco. I don't have a Costco here, but when I go visit my kids, Aldi. Some places have Aldi. I'm in the Midwest. I'm not sure if it's out in California on the West. Different stores. But I have begun, and don't know why I didn't earlier, but I've begun to make on that list, keep the prices so that I'm aware, is this going up? Or when Walmart's good for this, they'll say price drop. But then if I look on my list, I realize, wait a minute, yeah, it dropped because they had moved it, they had really bumped it higher. And now what they're calling a price drop is maybe just a penny less than what it was before. So I've been doing that to be aware, just watching brands, paying attention. So make sure that you are aware of what are the things. Are there substitutes that you can use that are just as good, and be willing to try? Another thing, and this is huge, is Americans waste so much in food. And a lot of times, again, it doesn't seem that important, but yet that's money. It's literally like taking dollar bills and ripping them and throwing them in the trash. So how do we waste food? Easy. A lot of times it's food that we put away and we think we're going to eat it, but we never quite get around to it. We wait till it turns green and becomes a science project, and then we throw it out. A lot of times we cut something, we cut certain vegetables, onions, different things, and we think I'll use the other half later. And so again, after a week or so, we're going, oh dear, I forgot about it. Have you ever used just a half of a package of meat or other things? So again, waste is one of the biggest issues that we have complete control over. And so like I said, most of us would never consider fixing a meal and then when we're done, literally throwing part of it away. But that's what we do because in many cases, and I see this a lot with young families, we put way too much on a plate for a child. And I know when I go visit my grandkids, I'm amazed at how much is on the plate. But when they come to visit me, I'm like, whoa, let's make sure you're going to eat that. And so once they've gotten started, then of course, what they don't eat does get thrown away. But what about if we start serving smaller portions? Make sure you like it, and then you can always go back and get more. And the same for adults. I see that. We're so used to the portions that we get in restaurants, which are huge, that at home, a lot of times we're putting way too much on the plate. And then once we start eating in it, then we feel like, well, nobody's going to want this. So then we throw it away. So let's make sure that we are really conquering this one area, and that is waste. If you don't use something right away, consider freezing it. There's lots more things that we can do. Being mindful of how much that you should prepare. If you are a family that does not like leftovers, then work on being more accurate in cooking the right amount. I personally like leftovers, and we do in my home, so it's not an issue. But I've talked to people that say they're not big on leftovers. So don't make those large portions anymore, because then guess what? You're going to be thrown away. So again, this is just one simple area. Think of the last couple days and also going into the rest of the week. How often do you throw away? And I know most people will say, well, I don't very often. But yet I bet if you were to go in the back of your refrigerator or by the weekend, you go, when did I fix this? You smell it and then you're not sure, and we often toss it out. So let's think of ways that we can make sure we aren't throwing money down the tube. So I'll be back talking about more tips, and definitely sign up for this amazing 3 days, because we want to make sure we're keeping money in our wallets and not just giving it away. I'll see you soon. And again, I'll put the link, and don't forget to sign